I'm just gonna keep Leaf Storming. Like, we should win now. Maybe? Okay, this is gonna be a really weird one. We outsped. That should be a KO then. Yeah, boy! This is ridiculous. Okay, I really have to find... Okay, I totally screw up with Lopunny, and I really have to find out how it went down. The Togekiss getting hit was pretty bad, but that's Landorus with the Intimidate. I'm pretty sure Landorus doesn't get to finish us off, but he took damage earlier. So that means we should just hit this and win. Ow. But Focus Sash. And Leaf Storm. Should be game. Yes! How are we 3-0 with this?
Oh man, I missed using Serperior. Half a decade without the GOAT. Problem. In that time, we've seen a lot of creep. Speed creep means we need Choice Scarf, right? Damage creep means we need Focus Sash. Well, what better time than to figure it out with Damage Theory? And that means we're going to be taking the deep dive into Serperior to find out the best way to use it in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So if you enjoy the video, don't forget to leave a like, share with your friends, comment your thoughts down below, and check out the G Fuel New Year's Super Sale. 50% off, code New Year 50. 50% off collector boxes, energy tubs, shaker cups, all kinds of good stuff. Not everything is 50% off with the code, but you can still find some great flavors, not code Verlisify, New Year 50 until January 2nd. Now, the old plan on Serperior was that you Leaf Storm and then you win. You come in on a lower, slower opponent, finish them off with the 130 base power move, and then you double your special attack and you one-shot everything, and if something's faster, you tank it, Focus Sash, and then you snowball, and then you win. I remember playing a bit of Scarf Serperior as well, where it's kind of the same idea, where we have natural bulk. 95, 95, 75 was good back then. And then you have like a little bit of leniency with a 113 speed Pokemon getting a Choice Scarf, so you can get some bulk in there, which means you outspeed, Leaf Storm, whatever, you can take a hit, and now you're +4, faster than everything, and then you're hard winning the game. But for some reason, I just ended up on Focus Sash. Don't remember why. Game was just completely different back then, and I think that's where I found the most success. But now we have a lot else to consider, and maybe even a complete change about how the Pokemon is played with the Stellar Tera typing and Tera Blast, which makes Choice Scarf feel weirder. Like, I'm stuck into Stellar Tera Blast. Is that good? Well, is that Damage Theory? And we also just have to figure out what Tera Blast actually does, so let's go to Cerebi for the Stellar type. Now, I haven't really talked about the Stellar Tera type that much because I didn't want to pull an Austin John and rush out misinformation, and it's also kind of hard with like new Pokemon and Paradox Pokemon, and then weighing it against an optimal type switch or something like that just to figure out what's going on. But yeah, when you hear that you're getting a boosted move for all of your moves with the Stellar Tera, you're going to think, oh, they all get stab. No, it's only a 20% boost. Unless you use it for your main stab move, in which case it acts like a Terra boost and then doubles the damage instead of a 50% boost. Also, Terapagos is uber mega super busted. It's immune to these effects, so it gets a 20% damage boost to every move that it uses, always. It also always has the 100% boost to normal types, except on Terra Starstorm. And then it gets even more complicated. Two moves are different to this, Tera Blast and Terra Starstorm. Both change their types into Stellar type when you Terastallized, and then they get added effects. However, they only get the 20% damage boost, so it's not even like you go Stellar, use Tera Blast, and get a stab. No, you just have the 20% that only happens on the first usage, and then Stellar Tera Blast minuses, which seems like it's not good on any Pokemon except for Serperior. However, I know there's going to be a thing where it's like, actually, Terra, or just like Stellar Tera on most offensive Pokemon works because it's a guaranteed counter into the opponent's Terra. Stuff's wild. So the damage calculations on Damage Theory are going to be weird because we have a move that's 100 power, but 120 for the first time, but then it goes back down to 100, but because we have Contrary, it actually technically goes to 150, but then we don't have a damage boosting item, so I have no idea where that puts us on Damage Theory, and if we're going Scarf, that means we can't swap into the Leaf Storm to then like turbo power our damage, and we are a 75 special attack Pokemon. So I'm wondering like what inverse Damage Theory is, to where can 75 just two-shot something and then convert into one-shot somehow and then we're just winning? But first, I think we even need to figure out what the optimal item is. So Choice Scarf, yeah, I talked about the speed creep. Urshifu, is that a threat? Dragonite, it can Dragon Dance. Golden Go, oh man, what's Golden Go doing? Let's find out. So Landorus, not really running Scarf. 14% are Jolly, which means you might see it and then it might outspeed you, but hopefully it's just like locked into an Earthquake anyway, so it's actually not a damage threat. Urshifu. Urshifu has under 100 speed, so Urshifu on the 97 speed kind of makes it weird. It's running slightly more Choice Scarf and slightly more Jolly, so it's like 1 in 5 chance you run into a Scarf Urshifu, but most of them are Rapid Style, and that means, yeah, still not a threat on the Serperior. Our natural durability survives a non-boosted close combat from an Urshifu if it's Scarfed, so maybe we stand a chance there. Then we have to look into something like the Golden Go. A modern power creep Pokemon that's actually running Choice Scarf. So, 35% Timid, 36% Choice Scarf. That's probably what we need to catch. Now, I need to start off with the Modest Nature because 75 Special Attack, we need to get all that damage we can, so the 10% into the boosting on the Stellar Tera Blast, hopefully that makes the difference, and then our natural 113 speed, that's getting Scarfed, yeah, we're okay with that. So, Golden Go. Timid Golden Go brings us to 149 at level 50, which means to catch that level 50, 132 speed, 124 hit points. That's actually not bad because we get 10%. A little over 10% extra durability on our hit points, and then we kind of feel like a Silvally. Silvally damage analog is only 170 hit points, so we're right there. It's actually kind of crazy how 124 EVs, half of the max at level 50, actually pushes you into like a 90-something hit point bracket. Now, before I get into hard damage calculations, I want to see where we're at with the speed. So 225 speed with the Choice Scarf outspeeds Dragapult and anything creeping Dragapult, so we're probably good there, and we have a decent upside. We survive Specs Draco Meteor 75% of the time. Can also get a little spicier for the optimization, so let's see if this actually drops it to like 23 point something percent on the Draco Meteor. Nah, still 25% chance KO. Maybe there's a damage calculation where like the 1 hit point damage optimization matters here, so run that. Now, I will get back to the Serperior damage into Dragapult, but I wanted to check the Golden Go first because a lot of it kind of just hinges on one of the most common Pokemon. Can we come into most Golden Go, except for Choice Specs? Choice Specs means we're definitely not going to be able to one-shot it initially in like a neutral 1v1, and Make It Rain just gets us the KO. But at least it's spec'd into a -1, and maybe he thinks like a Shadow Ball, so it's like, if it's Shadow Ball Specs, we're okay. If it just Make It Rain for the one-shot, yeah, Serperior, it got power crept. What can you do? But at least like the Stellar button actually works on Pokemon Showdown, so it has that information correct. What happens when you go Stellar is that you do not get Stab. A Stellar Pokemon using Stellar Tera Blast is only getting a 100 base power move with the one-time 20% boost. That's why we have like all of these buttons to find out what's going on. However, the result is not good for Serperior because it means we use Tera Blast and we only do 30% to the Golden Go, but we get our +1. However, we lose our Stellar boost, so we're doing 30%, then 40%. Which means Golden Go just beats us. So Modest Specs always KOs us, even like Timid is going to be a high chance to KO, and then that depends on like the EVs and stuff. But even if we cut down to like a 0 hit point, Timid, Special Attack, Golden Go, which isn't even most of them, our Terra numbers are still looking really bad. So the first hit is doing 40, and then the second hit is doing 45, and we're still not finding enough to KO a Golden Go, like two-shotting a Golden Go. That's not good. Serperior really needs the 130 stab power of a Leaf Storm to get doubled on that 75 special attack. It's not what I was hoping for. I was hoping that you could Scarf Serperior like into almost anything, get your setup just like it's Leaf Storm, use Power Creep in your favor, GG easy. But as we see, it was not GG, it was not easy. Which also makes it harder to explain stuff like this. If not, we're still just getting stronger and it should be okay. Woo! Oh, that's damage! Well, let's see if it's any better against a Dragapult. 88-75, so that means we can go Stellar. We go Tera Blast. Our first hit is 40%, and then our second hit is going to be non-Stellar +1, and that's going to be 50%. So there's like a chance to KO. I guess if we drop the health by like 45%, so first hit, send on 55%, use this one, 50-50 to KO. But then after that, you're actually still not in a good position because it's a +2 non-boosted Stellar Tera Blast, which means everything's only taking 70% from there. Oh, that sucks. It also means that if like you're coming in on Choice Scarf and you're revenging against a Tera opponent, you don't even get the +0 one-shot on them. So it's not like, +0 one-shot, you're coming in, now you're like +1 guaranteed hit against every Pokemon on the opponent's team, and you also have the bulk to survive? Wow, that's not good. That brings us back to Focus Sash, but after playing around Focus Sash for a couple of battles, too many things just outspeed us now, and then we need that ramp. So it's like, they outspeed us, hit us, Leaf Storm, that's never going to KO, then they outspeed us and we're dead, and all we got off was like a decent damage Leaf Storm, which is offset by like any other special attacker with anything, even a Life Orb. Now, Serperior is the ultimate cleanup Pokemon. The opponent only has slower Pokemon remaining, and you have a Focus Sash, you have like a 90% chance to win the game, because like Leaf Storm, or like that's when you Tera Leaf Storm, get the most damage, and then you can do like the Stellar Tera Blast, and that's gonna be a +2 that then turns you into a +3 that also has like all the boosting and the guaranteed hit, and you just go back to your +3 Leaf Storm and you start KOing things again. So you can get away with that. But a lot of the common Pokemon are just gonna be faster than you or have the natural durability to bulk it out. Does that mean we just go back to basics with the Serperior because Leaf Storm is just too good on it? Like the boosted Tera Blast, how is it half the damage of a Leaf Storm? Also, that means like even Terra Grass doesn't make too much sense on the Serperior because Leaf Storm is a 2-hit KO into Silvally, or it's a 1-hit KO if you already have the +2, and then you don't need like the boosted damage, and if you're Stellar, you only get that once. So maybe it matters into some matchups or already like weakened revenge situations, especially if you're Scarfed. And that's kind of it. And then like you just run it Leaf Storm to where you hit the opponent with a Leaf Storm, they hit you, you hit them, they're dead, now you're +4, and you one-shot everything. If you're Scarfed, do you even go Terra Grass? That way you always have that Terra boost out into even something like a Golden Go. So let's find bulky Golden Go at +4 with our Grass boost into level 100. It actually means we find a chance to KO a max hit point Golden Go, but if we're Stellar and we already burn that Leaf Storm stacking up, we don't have it. Like the only benefit I could see the Stellar is like a Terra revenge situation, but as we showed, that's just worse than a Grass Leaf Storm? No! So the reason why I made this video is because something wasn't working with the Focus Sash. Now again, I think this is optimal, and you can get away with the Stellar Tera Blast if you have Focus Sash or the ability to change your moves, but then you're a dedicated wall breaker, and it puts you in like a insta-lose the game situation. Like, instead of win condition, we have loss condition. You achieve an instant loss condition if the opponent just happens to be faster than 113 in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, for any reason. Also, there's a lot of priority in the game, so this has a less chance to win, but also just like a greater chance to completely end the game into bulkier or slower team compositions. But as we get into like Regulation F and even Regulation E and Transfer Pokemon and DLC, the game has sped up. If Serperior was introduced as like a base Pokemon in the first couple of rule sets and regulations, probably just get away with this and you're fine. Maybe even Modest at this case because everything was so slow. But then it started to speed up a bit, and now just the range between 90 and 120 doesn't exist. So playing for that doesn't really make any sense. So I think it's actually this. You go Terra Grass Leaf Storm, and you don't even have to Terra. You just use Leaf Storms until you go into the resisted hit at +2, +4, and then you Terra Grass and hope that's enough to take it out. After that, like, I don't even know what else you run. The Mirror Coat, because that's a legendary move that has saved me in the past. And then Dragon Pulse for coverage, like if you need the insta one-shot. But like, if you're coming into a Dragon-type Pokemon fresh, the Dragon Pulse super effective hit probably loses to like 2 Leaf Storms. Damage time. So Dragon Pulse onto Dragapult is going to be a 2-hit KO, which makes sense. That's what we expect, except you don't want a super effective hit to not be KOing an opponent. But then we go Leaf Storm, which means let's just knock off 33%. And then we go +2 into the Dragapult, which turns it into an 87% chance to KO, and that's using the low roll first. So you probably have like a 92% chance to just Leaf Storm, take out the Dragapult. And now you're a +4 Pokemon using a stronger move in a better situation. Also, you can just go Terra Grass and like completely make it one-sided against the Dragapult. And that's kind of it. So yeah, like the Dragon Pulse it's just there, but it's also kind of fraudulent. Also, if you're locked into it and they bring a Fairy-type Pokemon, no, you're just better battering them down with a Leaf Storm. This Pokemon has no coverage and no reason to run anything else unless, like, you have the Taunt, just because it's, like, a weird setup Pokemon. For some reason, you absolutely can't beat it because it's, like, Sap Sipper. And then you taunt and switch out because the Pokemon has, like, lost a turn. If they don't switch, they lose another turn, so you kind of get free turns on that, and you switch so Serperior can come back in and Leaf Storm. And then I don't know what else you could do. Glare, switch, like, it's bad. I don't know, maybe this is the sauce, maybe it's actually the nastiest Pokemon ever. It's gonna take some battles and experience to figure out, also team builds. Pokemon's kind of ugly, but that's why you follow me to get the best competitive information possible in Pokemon, understand the game better than anyone else, and then you can also apply this. We just learned a lot about Tera. It's bad. I don't see the applications, except on Terapagos, but it's whole other can of GS Cupworms. Also right now with Damage Theory, choice items are kind of just hard winning the game, either Choice Scarf 2-shots or Choice Band and Choice Specs 1-shots. And then that limits you way too much if you're going like Stellar Tera. So Stellar Tera is only there for like very few Pokemon that can maybe sometimes utilize it as like a 5% win con out to have the guaranteed hit into the known prediction of the opponent Tera into something. But I feel like it's also going to get just worse into VGC because you can actually see the team sheets, because VGC has also gotten completely awful and casual and filled with cheaters, so there's like no point playing doubles. So maybe the best thing Stellar Tera can do is go on to like one Pokemon that has no other reason or no other need to Tera to increase your win condition by like 5%. But I'm not talking about a direct 5%. It's not, oh, you go from 50 to 55%. You go from 50 to 50.25%. And that's all that it does. And that's not, I don't even know. And then at that point, pick a better Pokemon or find a better Tera strategy and just win more. There we go, guys. That's probably as good as it gets for Serperior. Hope you all enjoy the video. Hope you have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.